It's like pulling wings off a butterfly, bringing in Trey Lance. It's like when you push over a porta potty, splashes all over the place, bringing in a guy like Trey Lance. Sometimes you get messy, but you know it's for the best.
Kind of circumcising the mosquito.
That was Jerry and Dak Prescott, audio courtesy of the Cowboys.
Thanking himself.
What's amazing about this is I'm just going to create this caveat on any time I talk about the Cowboys. Yeah. When I hear people talk about the Cowboys as Super Bowl contenders, I'm like, what planet are you on to think that anything changes there? It's a certain way. It's been a certain way for 30 years. It'll remain that way as long as Jerry is standing. That's just the bit. This is what it is. Yeah, it's the Cowboys. Now, I actually think from a football standpoint, this makes sense. I know that plenty of people think that, look, this is indicative of Trey Lance just being a bum. Maybe it is, but maybe it's not. I mean, let's face it, the Niners don't have exactly a sterling record with all of their quarterback decision-making in recent years. They are really good at a lot of other places. They kind of fell into Brock Purdy. The Garoppolo thing got very awkward and bizarre. And then the Trey Lance thing was, did they give him enough time? Did they assess him incorrectly? Was he a total bust, or was he just underutilized or too raw? It's not like they are pristine at QB with this front office. So it's distinctly possible the Cowboys just bought really low on a really talented QB. And I know that people say, like, well, fourth-round draft pick shouldn't just be sniffed at, and that's the best deal that they could have gotten out there, so the Cowboys might have overpaid. If Trey Lance had a first-round grade from just about every team in the NFL, or most, let's just say most, because you either had him at a first-round grade or a second-round grade, and he got him for a fourth, and he's still younger than Joe Burrow was when Burrow took over the reins in Cincinnati, they might have bought really low on this stock. And they have a starting quarterback already in place. They have a backup in place. So if there was a way for Trey Lance to succeed, it would be no pressure on even being the backup this year. So you're not an injury away from being the starting quarterback. You get to learn from a guy that's been in the league in Mike McCarthy for 20 years, who coached both Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. This might be a perfect situation for Trey Lance. He can back up. He can be the third-string guy all of this year. Now the new rules in the NFL are the third-string guy can dress for you, the third-string quarterback, without affecting your 53-man roster. So that's helpful. So this actually could be the perfect football situation for Trey Lance. You've got good weapons in Dallas. You've got a good offensive line. You've got a good running back in Pollard, a good wide receiver in Lamb. You have things there that Trey Lance can grow and develop with. The issue is it's never just the football in Dallas. The issue is there's Jerry. And the issue is Jerry's his own worst enemy when it comes to football. And if you're going to acquire Trey Lance, I'm not really worried about whether Dak Prescott is bothered by it, because I don't think Dak has the equity to call the shots on roster decision-making. It ain't Tom Brady. It's not Aaron Rodgers. It's not Patrick Mahomes. I don't think you have to run everything by Dak Prescott, especially a third-string quarterback. But you do need to alert your coach. That's definitely something that needs to happen. There absolutely has to be some type of commonality, agreement, communication with your head coach who's running the football side. Now, if there's a disagreement, Jerry should have top say. He cuts the check. He's the boss. But what shouldn't happen is Jerry just going, yeah, I don't care what anybody thinks. I'm just getting them. Because that just undermines Mike McCarthy. It undermines the coaching staff. again, I don't really care about Dak being up to date, but I do think you got to keep coaches up to date. And it is kind of remarkable in power structures across the country, doesn't matter the industry, football in this case, how poor communication constantly is. And people just don't talk. Either they're worried about confrontation, they're worried about getting an answer or a response that they don't like, they're lazy, that they're distracted. But communication is just at an all-time low, seemingly, in really important situations like this one. Jerry's got to go to Mike and go, okay, how do you assess Trey Lance? And apparently he did. But then he's got to go, what do you think? And if Mike says, I don't want him here, Jerry's got to go, well, here's why I want him here, and let's talk through this. And ultimately, until he's blue in the face, Mike can say no, 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 no. But Jerry's got to ultimately go, but you understand, Mike, it's my call, and here's the reasons that I think it's right, and this is why we're going to do it. Okay, you lose a battle, but at least, there's a give and take. You can't just not say anything and be like, oh, and by the way, Trey Lance is now on your roster. Have at it. But, again, I'll just do the Cowboys. Yeah, it's the Cowboys. This is what happens. Yeah. And is it the right way to do things? No. Which is why, are they ever going to win a Super Bowl? No. No. I'll say this again. No one's ever gone broke betting against the Cowboys.
No.
It's like putting a tick on a tampon and asking them not to swell up.
Wow.
And here we go.
Welcome to Wednesday.
Now, I don't even know if Jerry really said that,
I don't think he did.
but you could convince me that he definitely did.
Yeah, or that he will now. He just took a note.
It's like putting a tick on a tampon.
When you're general manager, of which I am,
It's like putting a cucumber in brine and asking them not to be a pickle.
Zeke Prescott. Natural gas.
It's like putting Larry Allen at an old country buffet and asking him not to fall over with mashed potatoes all over his face.
It's like asking the actors to pay the writers so the strike ends.
Bells.
It's like putting Michael Irvin on the strip on New Year's Eve and asking him not to drop dead of a heart attack.
Don't be ridiculous.
It's like having a New York Post Twitter show and not asking Jack Stern to come on.
You stole it from me. I was going to do that.
Why?
It's like putting a skeeter on a tampon.
You would definitely say Skeeter.
It's the pronunciation of tampon, which is just so perfect and so ridiculous.
It's like talking about the Arizona Cardinals not having the CBS Sports Insider on.
It's like talking NFC West without a young man that's grown up in a Brooklyn brownstone. Just makes sense.
It's like going to a 5-star restaurant and getting filled up on bread and butter.
Imagine Jerry starts stealing Jackisms. Wait, I heard that before. There's a young man out east. I like the cut of his jib. He could be a wildcatter for me.
I'm just thinking of all the possibilities. I can't do the Jerry Jones, but please, somebody else. It's like just go through his catalog.
It's like watching Peyton and Eli and thinking it can't get better, and all of a sudden, Ock comes along.
Thank you.
You heard me wrong?
Food is family.
It's like biting into the freshest Tangier chicken you've ever eaten.
It's so succulent and delicious.
You leave just so satisfied. Kind of like week 1 of the college football. Wait a second. I've heard that somewhere before.
I'm just trying to get the fat man excited.
Wait a second.
That would work in Dallas, too, with Mike McCarthy.
Suddenly we see Jack is the new Kellen Moore. We're like, how do you get on the sideline?
Jack's in the draft room. Jerry wants to make a ridiculous pick, and Jack just puts his hand on his forearm and calms him down. You're right, Jack. We won't take him. Pick the tackle.
Next press conference, he just steps in front of the mic. Started a Jets chant on a train today. Let's go Jets.
You know the old Jets chant. Let's go Jets. I feel that way every time I watch Aaron Rodgers take the field. Start me up, Aaron. Let's go Jets. When I see Dak out there running the offense, I say, start me up. Start me up.
Let's go, Jets.
We just, every time there's a press conference, we're like, wait a second. He's stealing Jack's bits.
Me and the family are headed out to Waco for Thanksgiving this year.
If he ever did that, I will go leave this business for good. And we'll go do something else. I don't care what it is.
Waco. Waco. Oh, God, that was a good one.